Today we're going to be discussing the different types of ways that we can merge data using Salesforce basic relationships. So as we scroll down in this document package that I already have created, we'll go into our relationships related list. Now, you'll notice that the type is set to Salesforce object. That's important for what we call basic relationships. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cover going down multiple levels. So what I mean by that is being able to go from the starting object down to a child object, then down to a grandchild object, and all the way down to a great-grandchild object. So our starting object on this particular document package is accounts. So we're going to want to move down to contacts in order to get some information from there. Now, the way that we can do that is going into our relationships here. The first thing it's gonna ask us is what we have. Now, all we have so far is our account object, since that's our starting object. And then what we want is going to be the actual contact itself. And this is based off of a related list. Now, over on the right-hand side, this is kind of the most important section, especially when you want to grab data from multiple child objects. So there's a few different types you'll notice here. Section, which will allow you to replicate data in an entire section of a document. Table, which allows you to replicate tables for each child record. And then rows, which will add rows to an existing table. And then the last copy type that we're actually going to cover today is grouping. And grouping allows you to group information into individual tables based off of one or multiple fields. So we'll go ahead and start with section and save this relationship. Now we'll notice something as soon as we save that relationship. Now if we go into our field tagger and we set our main object from account to contact, as we scroll to the very bottom here, you'll notice there's a replicate section tag. So since that relationship was created, we automatically add the replication tag you need at the bottom of the tagger. Now let's go ahead and add in a couple more relationships to cover table and row, and then we'll come back and actually tag up the document. So as we scroll down to relationships, we'll click on new relationship, and you'll notice something different now. Under the what you have, in addition to account, we now have contact, right? So this is how we chain relationships together to allow you to get to deeper data. The what you want, we're going to go ahead and select cases now. And again, this is related by a related list on the actual contact itself. Now, when we click our list of copy types, we'll still see all of our copy types, right? So you can have a section within a section, but in addition to that, we can also replicate tables inside of our section, which is what we're going to do in our example today. So we'll go ahead and select table, and then we'll save this. And then again, scroll down to our relationships, and we're going to create one last relationship. Now this time, we're going to go from the case, and we're going to grab all of the emails on a case. So we'll find email message. And again, this is a related list on the actual case itself. And we'll notice now our only copy type is row. Now the reason for that is because we've already set a section relationship and a table relationship. So you can't replicate a table within a table. So we have to replicate the rows of the table. So we'll go ahead and add in this, save that. Now when we come back to our field tagger, you'll notice a few things here, right? As we click the main object dropdown, now we see case in our list of objects, as well as email message. Now if I select case and scroll to the bottom, as I kind of mentioned before, you'll notice we have this replicate table tag. That represents our table relationship. Now, to give you one more visual example, as we scroll back down, you can see the account relationship to contact is here, and then the contact relationship to cases here. Now one thing I want to point out to you is the number next to this. This is based off of the relationship number from above, right? You could have more than one relationship to each of these objects, so it's important for you to understand how these are connected together, and that's what this number represents. This third relationship is connected to the second relationship. So section, table, and row.